Okay, so we're gonna be doing week 2 predicts for AGPL. We have Crow and Frito. They're both on the Crow bets.
Yes.
So let's just run down the list. Wait, let's start with the top. I know you guys don't really want to do predicts for your own team because it's
I'll do
like,
predicts to my own team.
oh,
All
alright,
right,
bet.
go ahead.
Bet. Okay, Royal
Okay.
versus Mons. What do you guys think?
I
I gotta give
Royal.
it to Royal.
Royal,
Um,
okay.
think
I
that
think
Royal is just a better player.
yeah. So I think that I mean again, I thought last week that the FC game was a guaranteed win for us. I'll say they're pretty even. I give it to Royal just because he had a strong UMPL, that
One.
kind of thing.
Also had
So
Yeah,
another
yeah.
one on top of
I
that. So
think,
like, I mean, they're both 1-0, I think.
yeah, so I'll give Royal a slight advantage, maybe like 2/3, 1/3 kind of thing. He could definitely Monzarese definitely can pull a win in a tier like SS where everything is so volatile and you can bring sheer cold. Get lucky when the
yeah,
whole game turns around, but I still give it to Royal.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, same. I think Royal has the slight advantage here, only because he just has more like experience in the tier. Also, I feel like
Also
his
has
team building is
a lot of
just
building
better than
support.
Mon's. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
think
has a
Royal's
ton of
team
building
building is
support
just
too.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
you got
he
FP to support him also.
brings like weird stuff, but it always works out for him. So I
Remember the
respect that.
agility Zacian the agility SD Zacian that should have won in UMPL if it didn't get burned.
Bro, that was versus me. Also, he would have just died to Rocky Helmet Chip.
About
And my
that,
Zacian
Zacian was pretty
outsped his
OP.
because mine was Jolly.
Yeah, but he
So
was at +2.
yeah, but still, he would have died to Rocky Helmet. Okay, next one, Frito versus Bacon. I'm gonna have to give this one to Bacon.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
uh,
Frito's
we did
very Frito's
we
very
did
consistent.
agree no Goth, no shield.
Okay. I say I think Frito has a pretty good chance. I probably would give the slight edge to Bacon, maybe like 60/40, something like that. Because
I'm just gonna come out and win.
Bacon,
Let's
from
just
what I've seen, he doesn't seem too enthusiastic about this tour. Frito, I assure you, is very enthusiastic about this tour. So
that's,
when
that's gonna come out.
you take that into account, plus the support that Frito is going to be getting from his teammates, I think that there's a good chance to pull an upset here. But Bacon just having more experience in team tours overall, that kind of thing, I got to give the slight edge to Bacon there.
Yeah. All
Understandable.
right. Yeah. Also, I feel like Bacon's just really solid, just in general. Like I think
Yeah,
he's one
he's
of
just
the best overall AG players right now. So I mean, it's
a
fine to
really, really good
predict
player.
against yourself here. Yeah. Like I would predict against myself if I was playing Bacon. All right,
Oh
next
yeah.
one, FC versus Shabam.
Man,
I
you
think
have to
FC just
ask.
kills him.
I
FC
think
just
I'm gonna
kills
have
him.
to give this one to FC.
FC got his one allowed loss last week.
One
Never
more and
again.
he's off the team. More he's benched. The
Yeah.
week from
Also,
FC.
yeah, I wanted to say this for the Mons versus Royal matchup, but I've seen Mons getting better lately. Like his thought process has improved, and I'm pretty sure he's just become a better player in general. But we'll have to
I
see.
think it's I think it's because I've been watching a lot of NFE stuff recently, and he's gotten so much better in that too.
Yeah, yeah,
Like become a better overall player from like even Snake.
yeah. I'm just glad to see that he's getting better as like a more well-rounded player. All right, next one, Ainscrad versus Yami. I think
I have to give
Ainscrad
it
wins
to
here. Yeah,
yeah.
Ainscrad, he's kind of rusty because he hasn't played Natex since DLC 1, but Yami, like, after seeing the game versus Kate last week, he kind of threw that matchup because Ho-Oh just kind of walled everything, and he Dynamaxed at the wrong time as well. Maybe he's just, like, not really used to Natex. But yeah, I
I
think
mean,
Ains has the upper hand here.
when you look at team support too, like we have
I
guys
agree.
just to help Ames. Yami doesn't really have anyone, so he's probably going to be digging in the vault somewhere for a team.
Fine team. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
DLC
Actually,
two is
wait.
another one of those really volatile meta games
Yep.
too.
Yeah,
So
wait. Actually, he has Bacon and Andy for team building support for DLC 2.
Right, I forgot about Bacon. I did forget that he plays
yeah,
Nat
but
Tech.
Bacon said he wasn't really going to be building for a lot of people, right?
But
Like
I think that this would be one chance that the Vivs want Bacon to build or pass something along, whatever. whatever.
Yeah.
Probably going to be a Bacon team. Good point. I completely forgot.
All
So
right,
then,
next game. I think Jordan has the edge here. Jordan. I think he's just the second best USM player behind Scarf.
Yep.
Like,
yeah,
I agree
yeah,
with that. I
it's
think
just
that
kind of
in this
tough.
matchup, I've been telling my teammates that last
our
week,
hardest matchups are in SM
yeah,
this week.
last week it was ND and ORS. This week I think it's SM. I think the Vivs have the best SM core in the entire tour, and I know people will say that like Edgar and Velvet are better. I heard that around, or even Scarf and 64 Squares, but honestly, I think that the Vivs have the best.
Yeah, I think. Actually, I think Scarf and 64 Squares kind of rivals them because Scarf is just tiny bit better than Jordan, and Squares is also he can hold his own. But
Yeah,
Jordan and Andy
Are we
Boy
forgetting that
definitely
he was
really
trying
good.
to choke away the matchup last week against a guy that's probably never played the tier? Like seriously,
Wait, sorry, what'd you say?
what was that
I was
matchup?
talking about the matchup last week with Squares versus Temp.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, true, true.
That game
He
should
kind of
not have been
choked
close
there.
at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Game should not have been close.
Yeah, he choked the Ray turn from what I remember. Like the E
So
speed, he should have known it didn't kill.
he got pretty lucky with the sacking with Darkseus.
Yeah,
After
that as
going
well.
almost twice, like after getting unlucky, he got a little bailed a little bit by someone who doesn't know the tier.
Yeah, true. So, maybe Squares is more shaky and use some than we thought. Alright, next one. Sidum versus Andy Boy. Now, I know Sidum's really good. Like, Farden said Sidum was, like, his level. So, and I trust what
yeah.
Farden says. So, this one should
Well,
be pretty fun to
he pulled
watch.
he pulled a really
Really
like
clutch.
really clutch win last week, on top of getting hacked pretty badly in Frozen game.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah,
I
okay. I
and
kind of remember that game.
I
Wait, that
think it
was,
went like
yeah.
50-50. We brought double ogre last week versus
Ogre.
Rosewood.
Oh, yeah,
it,
okay. I remember
it
that, yeah.
worked really well if he had just
That
he had hit the origin on the and then I think he missed Peak Blades and the Toxic. Right? Like I think the game goes much more lopsided if he actually gets those moves to hit.
Yeah, we'll
I
have to
think
see. We'll have to see
Stidham is
here.
going to be much more formidable this week now that EPL is over, and I think that's true for Royal FC as well, and
Max,
PG and Max. Yep, and PG. All those guys is out of EPL, and they can focus, a lot more on this tour. So I think we're going to be seeing more good things from Stidham, Royal, Max whenever he's played again, that kind of thing.
Yeah, fair, yeah. And also, Andy Boy just kind of brings standard stuff every week. So maybe if you guys can like build something cool, you guys could get like matchup possibly. We'll have to see.
I
Yeah.
think we have some cool things lined up. So
Yep,
yeah.
we do.
All right, next one, MC versus MAMP. This one's
I
kind
give
of
MC the edge here.
a
I give
toss up
MC.
for me. I don't
MC,
know how good
MC
MC
has
is. I'm not gonna lie.
he's I mean me and him built PG's Oras team last week.
And he built the last team versus say which was going to be used versus Liru as well. Like
Yeah,
building, he's been really active in a lot of tiers, helping out pretty much everywhere except for
definitely.
Galar. And I mean,
especially versus a non-main MAMP or someone who's not too familiar. But again, it's Oras. It can go either way.
yeah. I don't know. I'd give MC the slight edge here.
I haven't really seen much from MAMP either. Like I'm not gonna lie. All I've seen is him. I've seen him bring the same like 3 keys, Ditto, whatever team like everywhere. So I don't really know. We'll have to see. This one's another toss-up matchup.
Yeah.
All right, next one, PG versus QT. I think PG just takes this one here.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he's getting a crash course in SS after his.
We're not letting that what happened last week happen
No, we're not
again.
letting it again. No,
He
absolutely
comes
not.
on. I don't know if you should really say this, but he comes on like 10 minutes. You want to play in 30 minutes. So we play like 3 SS test games against teams that we think Farden might bring because Farden said he wasn't gonna build. And we're like, okay, go play Farden.
But yeah, I saw.
Again, we froze him and then set up Ray on a frozen Arceus Fairy and won. So it's all good.
Yeah, I saw PG's use them in RS games. I feel like Farden kind of threw the RS games, like for example, turn 12, he didn't recover with Dragon CS when like he should have.
Yeah.
Instead he clicked Iron Defense. But also I feel like PG's mechanics are just really good in general. Like early game doubles to get rocks up or whatever and use them. Those are pretty good. I do think the crit on the Fairy CS mattered though, not as much as the overheat miss mattered on the Pharaoh. But yeah, that was just like
the
a
first
team building
year
type
was
of thing.
great.
Yeah, if he just got like a better team maybe, then that would have been a really close game without the hacks.
Uh, the thing about so PG was uncharacteristically busy last week. So
He was traveling.
I gave him a
Oh,
backup
I
Zen
see.
team, and like 10 minutes before he was like, "I'm gonna use this one," and I was like, "Okay."
Oh yeah,
Didn't
yeah, I know what
realize
you
the
mean. Yeah.
marsh was like hello sub, and it was very bad. I was very upset too when I looked at the team that he picked as he was playing it because I didn't listen for it, but it worked out, and that's all.
We might have been losing our mind in VC during that game.
All right, cool.
Not as much as the Galar game though. The Galar game was just give us screaming.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the love discs versus Sableye. Okay,
I think
Ballfire
those are
versus Undercover.
So those are two Ubers players. I think when you get two Ubers players, especially ones who perform at a similar caliber, it comes down to the team support. It comes down to the matchup. So
Yeah, I feel like Undercover has the edge here, just because Farden's such a good team builder for SS. Like, yeah,
That's the big
he's
thing.
actually insane. Yeah, like last week, Undercover's team just had a matchup there between Scarfed Cali versus FC. That was just gross, and it just worked out. So I mean, you got to give it to Farden. Yeah, I mean he does stuff and it works, so can't really say anything about that. All right, what do you guys think about Nora versus TJ?
I think Nora has.
I think Nora has
has
the
it as
edge
well.
here. Yeah.
Nora is super rusty in AG, but if you get Nora plus a builder, like if FC was saying like during one of the mocks, like Nora plus Max Omega is how you win all the time, and it's true. You get a builder, you get Nora, you win. So I think that Nora will carry this one definitely.
Yeah, I think
Extremely
Nora
that way.
has this one.
As much as TJ's he's a tourist, just a tourist player, right? You know, I think Nora having that previous experience in AG, even if he is rusty, is much more advantageous than a tourist player without maybe as good of a builder.
Yeah. All right, next one, Leader Meliodas versus Based What. I haven't seen much from either player. I know Leader is like a ladder
I'm personally
hero.
biased here because I know Leader pretty well. So I'm gonna give it to Leader. I think with some building support, as long as AGL actually checks his team this time, I don't think we'll have I don't think he'll have too much issues. I mean, granted, it's what that he played pretty well versus Max, and obviously got lucky with all the paras, but I just think
Oh, wait. Oh, that
Leader
was
has
the game? Okay, wait.
Leader
I
has a
remember
lot more
now.
experience in the tier, and if he can get some actual building support this week instead of AGL just looking at the team the last minute, I think he'll be in a much better spot.
I think I think Based What wins here. So it's a 2 versus 1. You guys think Leader, and I think Based What. But yeah, I mean, from what I remember, Based What's game last week versus Max Omega, I think he piloted that team pretty well. Like there were maybe like 1 or 2 turns where he like messed up or was like, or he didn't play optimally. But other than that, like I feel like Based What did pretty well from what I saw. And Leader, like in my opinion, like he was just kind of like wandering around his game last week versus Rotten.
He didn't want to mess up, and he was played so safe. It was like he didn't want to make a mistake and just played really safe because of that.
I mean, that's the pressure
For any
too,
risk.
right?
Yeah.
Like Leader, this is his main tier. Based What, not so much. So Leader may feel like he needs to prove something, like he may need to perform better, and that has that kind of
Yeah,
effect where he doesn't do too well because he's too worried about, or maybe something like that happens.
Yeah, it's also his first
I
tour,
can still
right?
see this going either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like first big tour, he did ghosting tournament with me, but
Yeah, but that's like a side thing, more like.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
like
got
his first major tour.
Yeah, I remember when I was in my first tour, like AGPL last year, I shat my pants during the match. Not literally, but like I just messed up because I was just like the pressure got to me. But yeah, no, I definitely
Yeah,
understand that.
I think this is still a pretty 50-50 though, like honestly. A
I
good builder and a
I'm
good
gonna give
player
the
is one
edge
of the
to
main things.
base what, but we'll have to see. All
I
right,
think it'll be a
Neville
good game.
versus Default.
default.
Sorry, guys, I'm giving it the default.
Yeah,
I
you
think
know what?
Neville is a top tier ND player, but I think default is like a top tier.
I think default is probably the second best national dex player right now after Kate. So,
Yeah.
For the
uh,
but
Um.
those two
as
are
good
the
as Neff is, I just don't think.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give the edge to Default here. I think, look, if anyone's gonna beat him, or if anyone's gonna upset Default, it's Neville. All right, because Neville he makes the right plays, all right, all the time.
top.
The thing
Just
is,
needs to bring the right build.
yeah, exactly. Default's builds are so weird, but they always work out for some reason. So if Neville has like a good matchup, or like even a neutral matchup, he has a chance to win this. But for now, I'm gonna give
I
the edge
agree.
to Default because Default's just a goat in that decks, pretty much.
So,
All right, MZ versus Alpha Rabbit.
It's very
I think
difficult to predict
think
these ones where,
MZ.
like,
yeah.
they're both kind of outside players at this point because they're, MZ was here, but he was an AG player, but he hasn't been for so long. I forget who I predicted. I think I predicted for Alpha Rabbit, but I think I'm kind of leaning towards the game 50-50.
Yeah, this one's
I can't really make a judgment on this matchup.
yeah. Farden ranked MZ kind of high in his rankings. Um, I'm not sure how accurate Farden's rankings actually are because MZ was kind of washed during Classic, but I do feel like MZ, like if he has a good team, then I'm sure he can take this one versus Alpha Rabbit. Didn't Alpha Rabbit get hacked last week by like a Focus Blast Crit or something?
I think so.
Wait,
And then
really?
the MC versus Scarf just was not not even close.
Oh, right. Scarf just washed him with like Embargo Yveltal or something. Yeah, Scarf
it was
is
just like
Scarf is insane.
zero. I mean,
True.
that's a difficult matchup for even
Okay,
that's a difficult ask for even the best players.
yeah, okay, you know what? Fair. I think Alpha Rabbit has the edge here. I'm gonna give it to him. Because I remember watching Alpha Rabbit's game and I didn't really see any misplays. He just kinda got hacked and lost, which is unfortunate. So yeah.
For me.
Yeah. I agree with Crow here. Alpha Rabbit has the slight edge. Alright, Temp versus Tic Tac Toe Guru. What do you guys think?
TTTG has this.
TTTG,
Like,
yeah.
I don't see any way that this doesn't go to TTTG. The
Yeah.
game with versus 64 squares was close last week, but at the same time, like
Yeah, Temp choked that hard. Yeah.
she was only ever in that game because 64 squares wanted to throw it away every single turn.
Okay, I feel like TTTG is underrated. Like
He is.
he's underrated for sure.
I think
Oh,
I was surprised, very surprised that they didn't play him starting in SM last week. Very surprised.
Alright, on to Liru versus High Lord.
Oh.
Tough.
Hey, if Liru actually shows up, I think you give it to Liru.
Yeah, dude, okay,
But
Liru is insane. Like, I'm pretty sure he's always made the right play. Like, last year in Sabs, like, I think the one time he lost was when Farden passed him a team that didn't have an Ogre check, like a stall team, and then the opponent brought Ogre, and then he just lost because he had no options. But I think Liru takes this one because he's just so good.
That's true.
so
But
is Farden's build.
High Lord has like the Oras team behind him. How many people did AGL draft the Oras? You know?
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, he bought Zael and High Lord.
How good, right? Like, as good as that is, right? Like, I don't know if there's something that's too much imp, you know? Like too many conflicts might be happening in that chat.
Also,
Because
wait,
everyone
yeah.
on that team plays OS.
Also, didn't High Lord lose last week to Keys? Like, Keys is really good, but
He's good. He's
yeah.
very good.
So it just kind of goes to show, like team building can only get you so far. Like, you got to play the match yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give the edge to Liru here.
All right.
All right, Zale versus Farden.
Pardon.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
honestly, Zale's okay. Look, I will say this: Zale has gotten better, like a lot better lately.
I think she could give. I think this will be like definitely another one of the highlight matches.
This is the highlight match, yeah, I think.
I think JL has a very good chance of beating Farden in SS and then even in Oris. So I think this series almost comes down to the SS game again.
But I don't think, honestly, I think Farden's gonna wash Zale in SS. Like, I think Farden's just like one of the top two SS players right now, and it's not even close because his builds are just so innovative and they just work every time. Like, he's such a good pilot.
I've played a lot of against Zale. I mean, she builds some really, really, really interesting things that I think could honestly even catch Farden off guard.
But I've played a lot against both, and honestly, I think Farden's better at SS.
I think
But that's
Pardon
just
has
me.
such a history of being so good that it's very difficult to predict against him.
Yeah, he's like one of the yeah.
There.
Okay,
Dale, a very good player, but I mean, it's fun.
I think this game comes.
Yeah,
down to
but it's
the SS
Farden.
match.
I think it comes down to SM because Farden has SS and then Zale has RS, right? So it'll be the SM game that decides.
Both good at SM.
Yeah,
so-
they're both really
Let's see
good
where
players.
those
Don't
go.
get me wrong though. All right, next matchup: ISIS team versus my team. All right, Trade versus PDT.
Again,
All right, wait, I should probably comment less on these matches unless it's like really one-sided.
yeah, I think this
I don't-
is
I
a
don't-
one-sided one.
I think this is one of the one-sided ones too. I find it so hard to predict against PDT here.
Yep, 7-0 in UMPL.
I know
One
this last week,
very,
yeah,
very difficult.
extremely solid player.
Yeah,
What-
I would also lean PDT. You just can't really predict against him. He's just undefeated so far in SS. All right, Maple versus Jerry.
I don't know who Maple is, so I'm gonna give it to Jerry. Jerry
Maple's an
has-
Uber's player, I believe.
I think monotype. I think they're involved in, at least back in my day, back a long time ago. I think Maple did monotype things. Maple was dark sub.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Jerry has obviously a lot more experience in the tier, and he has a lot of experience in AG team tours too. So, and he's done well in them.
Yep.
So I don't know. I just think I would have to give the edge to Jerry here.
Yeah, I would also give the edge to Jerry. Just like speaking from a completely unbiased standpoint, I feel like he's grown a lot. Like he's grown away from his just HO days. Remember how like everyone just the like HO webs is synonymous with the name Jerry L. I think he's proved recently.
The pup webs on ladder for the CLC every single cycle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's evolved since then. So
Oh, I've
I'm gonna
taken over
get to
that.
give the edge to him. All right, Fat Fighter versus Lodi.
Oh,
I said fat fighter.
this one's hard.
I honestly haven't seen much from Fat Fighter. So
I think
also Lodi's my teammate, so I don't really want to make a decision here.
Yeah, I would probably give it to Lodi just on the advantage of he knows the tier a bit better. I know Fat Fighter's an Uber's player, but Lodi has more experience in AG. And some pretty good building support behind him as well. So So I don't know. I'd give it to Lodi here.
All right, so you guys are one for Fat Fighter and one for Lodi. So this should be a toss-up matchup then, by your guys' decision. All right, next one, Staxy versus Kate. What do you guys think?
I think Kate is the best NB player, and I don't see her losing this game or some absurd
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of a fact. Kate won the last ND Cup and she 2-0 default, who's insane in the scene right now. So yeah, I mean, those are just the facts. Next match, Scarf versus Edgar. What do you guys think?
I think Edgar is really good. Could potentially pull one off on
Alright.
Scarf. But Scarf is, you know,
How do you
One.
predict against Scarf?
Yeah,
exactly.
I think everyone knows that Edgar is the underdog here, but hopefully we can see an upset, you know?
He definitely could pull one off.
Yeah, Edgar is really good. Like he can definitely pull off an upset if he plays well. Okay, next game, 64 Squares versus Velvet.
Okay.
See, I didn't watch his game versus Temp last week. So I think I
Yeah.
predicted 464 squares, but now I think I want to change it to 5.
I don't know. They both didn't Velvet choke really hard too.
I don't know. I paid all attention to our games. I didn't watch any others, really.
Oh, this is hard. I think
They're both
64 Squares is a better player. Like, if Yusum Cup shows anything,
Oh, that's true. That's true.
God, I feel like I don't want to predict for either one of these because of their performances last.
Yeah, just because of the cups, I think I would for it.
Yeah, I think I would give it a slight edge to 64 Squares.
All right, next match, Chloe versus Keys.
Keys.
Um, I don't know. I think I would give it to Chloe.
All right, honestly, I'm just gonna put some like unbiased input here. I think this is like the highlight match. Actually, I think actually
Agreed.
this is a highlight match. Yeah, alongside like Zael and Farden, because I think Chloe's like everyone calls her the best ORS player, right? I mean that's you can back that up with like results. But Keys is also like
Keys is really
he's like a
good, too.
wild card, you know, like he's up and coming in the AG scene. I know he's like a big ORS or Ubers player, but he's done really, really well in tournaments lately. So this should be a really fun match to watch either way.
I agree. I agree.
All right, last matchup, me versus Ice.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Will.
Sorry.
Even if he didn't perform so well last week, I don't know. I feel like Ice is
Yeah, Ice is Ice.
one
That's
player.
fair. Yeah.
Ice is Ice, and he's gonna want to try to I don't know if avenge or prove something after his loss last week, but I think he's gonna come out like stronger than normal after last week's loss.
Who did you lose to last week?
You know?
Wait,
2-0. Lost to Zale. He got 2-0'd.
Right. I remember.
Yeah, Ice's matchup.
Said DD Necrozma.
Yeah, Ice's matchup in Galar was pretty bad for him because he got momentum and set up his hazards and everything, right? But the thing is, his Ogre didn't broke through his Eternatus or Zale's Eternatus, which just really hindered the matchup there because he just lost all momentum. Yeah, and then he nasty plotted with Calyrex on a Dragon Tail, and that just kind of ended things. So yeah, I mean he did bring like hyper offense, which is kind of matchup based. So I guess it's on him that he tried to do that. But yeah, either way, I feel like this should be a pretty interesting set. All right, so I think those are the predicts for everyone, right? Wait, let me highlight everyone that we predicted for on a Google, or I'll just do it in here. So wait, Royal versus Mons, we said Royal, right? Bacon,
Yeah.
FC, Ains, Jordan, Andy, MC, right?
MC, yeah.
NPG. And then we said Injure Cover, Nora. Weren't we torn on leader versus based?
We were.
Yeah, I think we pretty much 50-50 that one.
Yeah, all right. I'll just highlight 50-50, and then default, Alpha Rabbit,
TTTG.
yeah, Sam, Leroux, and Farden, and then for this one, PDT, Jerry, Lodi, Kate, Scarf, Squares, This one was like a verse, right? Chloe versus Keys.
Yes.
And then Ice. Alright. So that comes down to 1, 2, 3, 4. 5-3 Crobats to Vivillons.
Of course.
For Love Discs to Sabs, we had 1-7. Or 1-6.
That was pretty brutal.
Yeah, 1-6, and then the leader game versus the based game was a swing game pretty much. And then for Lycan versus Lapras, we had. Wait, what was this? Oh, we had a 4-3 with Chloe versus Keys as the swing game.
That'll be a very interesting series. Just that matchup.
Yep. All right, that's it for the predicts, I guess. Then I'll link the YouTube video in the thread so people can get directed to this and watch it.
Great.
Great.
Alright, I'm going to work now. Peace out,
All right.
everyone.
Peace.
All right, catch you.